Hey guys, my name is Wallace. Freaking vampire. Couldn't sleep, so I'm just like, oh well. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, well, probably record a video and then just hang out. Like this reminds me of like I used to work different jobs and I failed. Like jobs didn't work out or whatever, and it's just like that feeling where you're just like waking up in the morning. You're just like I'm about to go do my job. Sucks, but yeah, I'm gonna do it. Having all that like trepidation and fear and anxiety. You're just like, gotta go. It's early in the morning. I'm gonna do something. It's just a freaking job, It's blah blah blah. Just a total guy. Gotta go do my job. And the reason why I like saying that, and it's funny, is that I like thinking that way. It's because it's extremely silly. Oh, gotta get up. Gotta go to work. I gotta do my thing. And like in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna go. I like in reality, which is no fun, but like in reality, I'm probably gonna go to the gym, walk on a treadmill, get some coffee. I don't know what I'm gonna do because nothing's open this early in the morning. Like, what? It's gonna be like 8 or 9 o'clock. Ain't shit open at 8 or 9 o'clock. Ain't a damn thing worth going to open at 8 or 9 o'clock. And by a thing, I mean like the library. Like, I could be one of those guys that goes to a coffee shop and then feels awkward and like goes to another coffee shop until he feels awkward again. I could be one of those dudes. I don't know why I want to call, how you want to call people certain things, like not being mean, but like I know this. My grandfather used to say this phrase. I've heard this phrase before, called a puddle jumper, where you imagine like a frog jumping from one puddle to another puddle or something like that. Just like I should call those guys who go from one coffee shop to another coffee shop because they feel awkward. Puddle jumpers. I could be a puddle jumper until the damn library opens up, and then get tired of that and go back to the gym. Pretend like it is pretending. You know how people say, "Oh, it's a bad word pretending." Well, it ain't bad word pretending. You know, pretend. It's like, oh, what's your motive when you're pretending? Well, actually, my body hurts a lot, and I didn't sleep, and I do have, supernatural superpower abilities or whatever. Ain't lying about that. Ain't delusional about that either. People like a lot. I know a lot of people who ain't liars saying, "Hey, yeah, you're right about that. You ain't delusional about that bullshit." But anywho, it ain't pretending when it's like, well, yeah, I am pretending like I'm tired, but in reality, it's just me pretending to not have goddamn. Sorry. It's early in the morning, and I ain't haven't had coffee. Finish what I'm saying. It ain't pretending when I'm not using super abilities. All right. It's just I'm tired. I'm just gonna, I can snap out of it, do all these different kind of things, but you know what? Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for superpowers. I got time for that. Do you know how spoiled rotten I am? Like, you have to be like, imagine it like a real, not like, I don't obviously like superheroes are in movies, right? It's fantasy. But imagine how lazy and like spoiled. And I've seen some of those superheroes and superhero movies. They're just like, ain't nobody got time for using superpowers. I use superpowers all the time. I use superpowers so much I don't even feel like using superpowers. I use superpowers so much I don't even feel like using superpowers. That's how much superpowers I use. I don't even feel like it. Like superpowers. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like, Wally, use your superpower. What superpower? Why don't you start moving quick and doing all kinds of weird stuff and looking different and like stuff I can't even see and magic and shit. Magic. It's like I can feel it. I can feel magic going on right now. I can see things are moving. Hell, I believe that you can got things are. I've been around you and shit just moves around and crap. Like we're talking some crazy shit. Why don't you do that? I'm like, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm gonna be tired and cranky. Walking on a treadmill, I'm gonna be limping, my leg hurting. I'll be bent over halfway, my back arched, walking on that treadmill. Grumbling. I'll be grumbling too. Grumbling under my breath. Like a 98-year-old man. Just under my breath, someone walks up close to me. They'll just hear me grumbling. Ain't nobody got time for that. Here's the thing. Look, I just thought about a few things. Pretty people who are cute, especially freaking people who are cute. Oh my god, they've got it made in the shade. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what any argument. I don't care. Cute people who are adorable or cute in some way, don't have to worry about a damn thing. They say pretty people, they say sexy people. No. Sexy people have it hard. Pardon the pun. But sexy people are attacked. Cute people are given shit. It's the truth. It is the truth. You can't see my hand right now, but it's like I'm like it is. I'm over here. I'm expressing myself. You can't even see it on camera, but it is the truth. Now I am sexy. I am. I know. I know. Wow. Who says that? But here's the thing. So I know both worlds, and I know how to change different, techniques of communication, of being, of whatever. It's all whatever, call it whatever. And I know like sexy is it's a it's really it's like it's a lot of work. Sexy is work. It's a lot of work being sexy. It can be. And at times a person may enjoy that being, and then whatever. But cute don't take a damn thing. I'm just sitting here, not doing shit. I could have cute eyes, you could have cute hair, you could have cute whatever, you could have a cute body or whatever. You can just be adorable. That's it. You do a giggle. If you really feel like putting in the effort, start giggling and tee start doing that. And people are like, "Aw, you want a free sandwich?" It's the truth. Um, Look at that guy over there. He's so cute. Like that shit. That shit is so freaking annoying. It's one of the most, because it's like there's no like the only way, like, you have to know how to break down people as a leader. Like sometimes a person will grow into like a freaking weed of a person, like a just like, what are you doing? And most of the time it's funny, right? You're this person who's like, you know who they are, but they've just grown into this. like, like who have you been talking to? Who have you been hanging out with? Who's been leading you? Because you are like, you are just I don't even know. Like, what are you doing? It's like you talk to the person and it's like, hey, how's it going? And they start like doing crazy shit. It's like, what's going on here? And like I know how like alphas think. I know how leaders think. I know how just mean people. I'm not saying alphas and leaders are mean people, but they can't be mean. But and I know just people can be mean, and I'm just like, what kind of mean people have you been around? I mean, you're an extremely interesting person. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking at you right now, and I did not expect. I did not. You know, I'm not. I am being judgmental right now, but I'm more fascinated by what the hell is going on with you right now. You know, it's fair to say that we all, you know, everybody. It's a universal thing. You know, it happens to everybody. It's not just. I want to say something mean and cruel, but I'll go ahead and say it. I'm just going to say it. Please don't hate me forever. The thing is, since we're talking about different styles, you got sexy, you got cute. You know, I'm just these are complex things. At the same time, I'm like, I don't really care. I don't know why I'm talking about it. I'm just grumbling. But I want to talk about one thing in particular that I find extremely fascinating. Don't hate me forever. Ugly people. Ugly people. This is a fascinating thing that I've learned. Have like they also have it easy in a way. People don't talk about this. People tend to mistreat and be mean to ugly people. Yeah, it's kind of, I'm not saying all ugly people or people who are really, really, really ugly, like hideously ugly. I know I'm a pretty person talking bad about ugly people. Wow, what a first! It's the first time that's ever happened. Here's the thing: I'm not being mean. I'm admiring a different style because in order to pull that off successfully requires skill. It also requires a lot of different things that I've learned. I'm not very good at it because clearly I suck at being an ugly person. I can do it. I can dress a certain way and try to make my face, you know. But speaking of being a damn, you know, having supernatural abilities, you know, I can get pretty dang ugly. as a vampire. Scary looking, but I mean, it's a type of ugly. Scary looking is a type of ugly look. But so I know a thing or two about that style. And what I was going to say, talking about people who are developed into what I'm saying. I said the term. I'll just eat my own words. Okay, I've already said it. Into a weed of a personality. Um, so bad. The thing is, I don't feel bad saying it. It's the damn truth. You know, there's some there's some people. They're so funny. That's another thing. Like about being, it's another part of the style of being ugly. Of different types of ugly. Like there may be a particular feature about you that's ugly, but you can use that. You can be it could add on so much to humor, to being funny, to being interesting, to character, different types of character development that may come from, whatever. So I do find it fascinating. So I'm not just being me. I'm looking at it from uh, a standpoint of fascination. Look at them. They're, I made I made a video and I talked about how crossing the street into um, a different place. And when I was younger, as a kid, I would like see like other people. I'm like, wow, they're just like us. It's like being in a strange land. Look at these people. They're so weird. I like them. That's how I feel with ugly people. Wow, look at that person. Wow, how are you today, sir? They're like, it's funny because it's the gosh darn truth. And trust me, when I'm feeling like looking ugly, and I'm trying to be an ugly person, I have to try. When I'm trying to be an ugly person, that's how I talk to people. I go, brr, 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 brr. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you so weird? I'm like, and like, I don't come up with an excuse. I'm just like, like when I'm playing the role, I'm like acting. I'm like, brr, 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 brr. Like, what are you doing? You seem so naive and underdeveloped. You seem like you've jumped to conclusions 1,000 times, and you're like, you've known nothing but turmoil, and that's what you like. And I'm like, exactly. That's what I'm going for. And they're like, you're like trying to be a stereotypical mo character archetype of something incredibly. You're doing something so stupid. You, there's like seven things you literally jump to a conclusion about something so stupid as saying that ugly people are a certain way, that you're just running with it. You just go in the distance with your stupid idea. I'm like, yes, you are correct. And they're like, well, you're goddamn. You're sorry. I keep saying that. I keep cursing. I don't know. I'm cursing right now. You're a gosh darn pretty person, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and do that. I'm like, well, thanks. one of the most important lessons I learned about being a pretty person. I met this girl, and by meet, I'd never talked to her because I was too afraid to talk to her because she was too damn hot. It was in a saloon, a country saloon. It was a big thing, a big place. It's like a club of country music, and it was amazing. It was in Colorado, and I'd go there because it was freaking great. There's line dancing, but there's also like Usher playing. There's like hip hop music. It was just great. All right, I I rode. Let me um, sidestep a little bit here and say I rode that wave of enjoyment going to that place as long as I could until people started saying, "Well, that damn vampire." Unfortunately, it was complicated and it's a whole that's a whole story in itself. I met a guy, and it's complicated. And um, oh, I know it sounds like, hey, you met a guy, that means something. Well, that kind of along those lines too. It developed into that, unfortunately, but we never, you know, did that kind of thing, And he started dating this girl, and I felt bad for him because he cut all his hair off and he wasn't cool anymore. And I was like, can't hang out. I'm like, but that's not the only reason. But it's like, dude, but that is honestly good enough reason for a pretty person, as conceited and asshole as they tend to be. Anywho, so I met this girl who I didn't talk to because I wasn't cool enough at the time. Uh, but I know this sounds really weird, but I was just watching her because she's putting on a damn show. Like, imagine a celebrity in a movie, which I know perfectly well what that's like, and I do it every friggin' day. Myself, I do it every day. But imagine a beautiful. I'm just gonna describe her because I just like doing that. She was like taller than I was. She was like 6'5" or something like that. Like beautiful blonde hair, beautiful face, beautiful body, wearing beautiful clothes. Like kind of revealing clothes, but not too revealing. She had a good fashion sense. She had this like amazing personality. She's just going around. She wasn't even drunk. She didn't need to be drunk to have fun. She was just there. She was just power. She was pure power. She's going around. She's like, I am pure power. You can't touch me. You can't touch my confidence. You can't. Just nothing you can do. And she's just a force of nature. And there's like, there's a lot of beautiful women there. But like, you know, a lot of not. It's not just beauty. Clearly, like I'm not saying that, but for this story, I'm talking about pretty people. I'm talking about styles. I'm not just talking about looks, but how looks apply to a style of being specifically. And she was a pro with who she was and her style. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, I was watching her. She was, she was like a pop star. Like she wasn't just a celebrity. She was doing stuff. She was going around, and people are just, like, wow, look at her. She's just doing whatever she wants. She was just like acting kind of crazy. Like like she was essentially a rock star. I'm like, and like part of me is like, who is this person? Like I got the feeling that she wasn't famous. Maybe she was. She could have been. Like she was like hiding that or like trying to conceal her fame. But she was just. But that night and seeing that person really made me think about the power of pretty people, sexy people, in particular for her style. She was cute, she was sexy, and she was talented, and I saw that, and it inspired me. I was like, wow. If I wasn't already dating this guy right beside me, I'd be totally. If I hadn't already met this damn guy over here, I'd probably go up and get that girl's number. Well, I mean, I tell you what, that same guy. I should really go into this dang story. We didn't have sex, all right. We didn't do that, but it's a story worth talking about. It's embarrassing. And it's embarrassing because I sucked. And hold on, not not no, we didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. I'm just saying that I wasn't back then. I wasn't cool. I sucked, and what? I wasn't. I wasn't the man I am today. I was. Let's say I was pretty much a naive. This makes it worse, and keep making this worse. It's so dumb. But I just wasn't. I don't know why I'm enjoying this, dude. It's so dumb. But I was just. I was not the gosh darn superhero I am today. I was just not knowing what's going on, but you know, I'm enjoying myself, and I'm pretty dumb. I was very, very, like not knowledgeable of people. Okay, I was not at a potential of development that was anything worth noting, should I say? Anyways, um, I've seen some ugly people that completely destroyed me. Like as far as like like we're not talk when I say destroy, I mean like they were just even it didn't matter. They were just so much better and like able to hold on to power and respect and get things done and just better people. Just just everything that I wasn't and just like plain as day and they say I ain't got no time for you. Like it, and then then I've had people like that and people, whatever. Like I'm not saying that anything's better than anything else. I'm just saying it's different styles. That's what I'm saying. The way I see it. So I think people are amazing. Okay, and it's in my instincts to identify people, and one of the things that I'm able to do is see potential and appreciate people who have reached different milestones of development of their character. Um, I've been trained to be able to do that. So, anyways, but gosh darn cute people, man. Get me every time. Get me every time. They always beat me. It's like having a you ever have like a for fun like play around and argue or not argue but like less than that but something like that with a person like you're losing the argument and you just like lose the argument you're like dang it I lost again. That's how that feeling. That's how I feel. I'm like, I see a cute person. I'm like, oh, and they're like really good at being themselves, and they know like a lot of different tricks. Like they're very knowledgeable. They've had a lot of people experience, you know. And I like start talking to them, and I'm like, dang, let me buy you a sandwich. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and be here. Appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna figure out what I'm doing. Maybe get something to drink, some coffee. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Bye.